कोस्टल एरिया पण आहे. कोस्टल एरिया मुंबईचा काही भाग आहे काम तुम्ही करतोय आणि कोस्टल एरिया आहे त्या एरियामध्ये पण आम्ही काम केलेलं आहे. तसं सेमी अराईड एरिया जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सौराष्ट्र आहे, उत्तर सौराष्ट्राचा भाग आहे, विशिष्ट आहे, काम करतो आहे. तसंच बिहारमध्ये एरिया जो आहे त्या एरियामध्ये या एरियामध्ये वेगवेगळे प्रोटेक्टिव्ह चॅलेंजेस आहेत. वेगवेगळ्या एरिया वाईज चॅलेंजेस वेगवेगळे आहेत. म्हणजे आता तुम्हाला पण आहे किंवा एज्युकेशन ऑप्शन पण आहे. खूप वेगवेगळे चॅलेंजेस आहेत. चॅलेंजेस त्या चॅलेंजेस वेगवेगळ्या काम करत असतो. हे म्हणजे चॅलेंजेस आहेत. आता आपण सध्या तालुका आहे तर त्याच्यामध्ये मी चॅलेंजेस बघितले त्याच्यावर पाहिलं आपण आहे किंवा लार्ज स्केल मायग्रेशन पण होतं त्या एरियामध्ये. त्याच्यावर पण ऍग्रिकल्चर मॅनेजमेंट एरियाज आहे ते खूप मागे आहे. आपण त्याच्यामध्ये अग्रेसिव्ह आहे. हे जे रिजन आहे ते रिजन त्यांना आपण त्या विकास साठी आम्ही प्रयत्न करतो. जो आपण प्रोग्राम आहे त्याच्यात आपण टॅलेंट बघितले इथे जे प्रोग्राम आहे ट्रायबल पॉप्युलेशन जवळजवळ 69% आहे, रेग्युलर एज्युकेशन आहे, मोनोक्रॉपिंग होतो, तेच वारंवार सबसिस्टन्स ऍग्रीकल्चर प्रॅक्टिसेस आहेत आणि लँड होल्डिंग जे आहे नॉन लँड होल्डिंग आहे या एरियामध्ये इरिगेशन फॅसिलिटी आहे, इरिगेशन फॅसिलिटी पण लिमिटेड आहे त्या ठिकाणी आणि सीजनल वॉटर स्कॅरिटी आहे, मोठी पार्ट जे आहे मिळत नाही लोकांना सध्या. लो ग्राउंड वॉटर आहे, सिल्टेड वॉटर बॉडीज आहेत त्या ठिकाणी आपण पाणी गव्हर्नमेंट बनवलेले जे आहे नारळ आहेत म्हणजे ते बनवलेले लिव्हिंग मेंटेनन्स मध्ये काम असतो त्याच्याकडे 24 आपल्याला ते पण या ठिकाणी काम आम्हाला स्कोप आहे. आणि ती आता हे आपण आहे आपला वेळ आहे ते सुरू होईल त्या ठिकाणी मोठ्या प्रमाणात रोड लागेल आणि रोड झाल्यानंतर बाबू जे आहे ते आणि पावर करतो त्यामुळे माती आहे ती जिथे आहे ती माती पासून लागते त्याच्यामध्ये ऍग्रीकल्चर ही आहे त्याच्यात आता ते वेगवेगळे एका रात्री प्रॅक्टिसेस पण आहे. डिफॉरेस्टेशन खूप वेगाने होतं, लिमिटेड ऍक्सेस आहे सस्टेनेबल मार्केटसाठी. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट आणि सीजनल मायग्रेशन इश्यू आहे. ज्या प्रॅक्टिसेस आहेत त्या टॉपिकला खूप कमी आहे. म्हणजे क्लिमॅटिक एरिया आहे या एरियाला आम्ही डेव्हलपमेंट त्याच्यात क्लायमेट बेस्ड ऍग्रीकल्चर क्लायमेट म्हणून आपण कसं इन्हान्समेंट करू शकतो त्याच्यासाठी तर क्लायमेटला हानी होत होता क्लायमेटला हानी होईल किंवा पर्यावरण हानी पोहोचेल असं आता त्याच्या क्लायमेट चेंज जे आहे त्याचा त्याच्यात आम्ही वेगवेगळी ऍक्टिव्हिटीज करतो पार्टी इरिगेशन इरिगेशन तर पण आता आपण बघतोय पाच लोकांनी जोपर्यंत चालू राहील त्याच्यासाठी काही पार्टिसिपेटरी इरिगेशन मॅनेजमेंट मध्ये पण काम केलंय आणि त्याच्या सोर्स करून त्यांना एक वाढ केलं पुरस्कार पण देण्यात आले आहे. सॉइल वॉटर कन्झर्वेशन साठी पण काम सुरू करते. नॅचरल रिसोर्स मॅनेजमेंट हे आता प्लांटेशन आहे माझी 33 ते 35 लाख झाडे लावली आहेत. त्याच्यामध्ये पर्यावरण वृक्ष पण असतं आणि त्यात काही असतो दोन पैसे त्यांना इन्कम आणि गव्हर्नमेंट लँड असेल किंवा तुम्ही जर त्याची देऊन येत असेल आणि त्याच्यासोबत त्याचा 2-3 वर्ष प्रॅक्टिस डेव्हलप झाल्या पाहिजे आणि 3 ते 4 वर्षात आम्ही ते फळ मिळायला लागला समोर आणि मला काम करावी त्याला प्रमोट करत असते त्याच्यासाठी करत असतो ते काम करतो. रिजनरेटिव्ह ऍग्रीकल्चर आपण बघतोय की पर्यावरण खूप उद्ध्वस्त झालेलं आहे. आपण जे बऱ्यापैकी चांगले ते पण म्हणतात विद्यापीठाचे आहेत ठिकाणा गोष्टी ते पण बघतात. त्याच्यात आम्ही ज्या प्रॅक्टिसेस आहेत ते स्टाफ प्रिन्सिपल आहे तर प्रिन्सिपल सुद्धा घेऊन आम्ही लोकांमध्ये जागरूकता करतो. त्या प्रॅक्टिसेससाठी आपण लोकांना तर त्याचा एक परिणाम तो आपल्याकडे एक लाख लोकांमध्ये ऍक्सेप्ट केले ही जनरली केलेले आहे. ग्रीन एनर्जी सोलर किती तयार करत असतो त्याच्यातून फायदे आहेत म्हणजे जे काही ठिकाणी अवेलेबल नाहीये तर ते तेवढं लोकांकडे पोहोचून गव्हर्नमेंटला केलं करत आपण काय करतो वॉटर रिसोर्स डेव्हलप करतो ते डिसेंडिंग करून किंवा रिपेअरिंग करून त्याच्यातलं स्टोरेज पाहायचं ते स्टोरेजचा उपयोग नवीन तयार करते गरजा आहेत पाण्याच्या त्या पूर्ण करण्यासाठी आम्ही काय करतो ते करत असताना त्याच्यासाठी आपण कसं चालू करतो सगळं त्या लोकांकडे पैसे डिझाईन वगैरे करतो आणि त्यानंतर 10 रुपये ग्रुप तयार करून त्यांना 8 16 टाकले करून देतो मोबाईल फोनवर पण आपण देत असतो जेणेकरून या ते सोलर एनर्जीचं पण आपण काम करतो त्याच्यात दोन फायदे होतात की जे ग्रीन एनर्जी आहे ते प्रमुख होते आणि जे पर्यावरणाला पूरक ते आहे दुसरं म्हणजे शेतकऱ्यांना पाणी पिण्यासाठी किंवा इरिगेशनसाठी पाणी मिळते ते करत असतो आणि बायोगॅस पण आम्ही सपोर्ट करत असतो वेगवेगळ्या एरियामध्ये की लोकांनी ते बायोगॅस कसं पाहिजे ॲनिमल हॅबिटेटमध्ये पण आम्ही एक आपण म्हणतो की डायरेक्ट ते गाळ येऊ शकतात तर त्याच्यात कोणत्या पद्धतीला म्हणजे आजार होता काय होतं त्याच्या काही प्रॅक्टिसेस आहेत त्याला खूप गरज आहे म्हणून आम्ही प्रत्येक गावाला पशुपती म्हणून आम्ही आमच्या जगातल्या त्या गावाच्या महिला आहेत त्या गावाच्या आहेत त्या मुलांना पशुपती म्हणून डेव्हलप करतो ट्रेनिंग घेतो एक्सप्लोर करतो आणि त्या त्या गावाला रिलॅक्सेशन करण्यासाठी किंवा इतर काही डिस्क्रिप्शन जे आहे ते जे जनावर आहे त्याच्याविषयीची माहिती देतात कसं करायचं जागेचं व्यवस्थापन कसं करायचं त्या सर्व बाबतीत हे पण एक काम आहे लोकांमध्ये इन्स्टिट्यूशनल आणि रुरल गव्हर्नन्स जर आपण पाहिलं तर विलेज इन्स्टिट्यूशन हे संस्थेचे व्हॅल्यू आहे जे आपण काम करतो स्वतः वर्ष सोपी आहे पण ते आपण जे काम करतो ते पुढे याच्यासाठी आम्ही गाव त्या ठिकाणी आम्ही पहिले वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी वेगवेगळे त्याला नाव आपण म्हणू शकतो ही एक लोकांची कमिटी एक आम्ही तयार करतो आणि जेही काही उपक्रम करायचे आहे ते उपक्रम करताना डिसिजन मेकिंग मध्ये निर्णय प्रक्रियेमध्ये ते कम्युनिटी लीडर आले पाहिजे आणि वंचित घटकांना वंचित घटक महिला सहभागी करून कसं कलेक्टिव्ह डिसिजन मध्ये लोक आले पाहिजे लोकांनी निर्णय घेण्याच्या प्रक्रियेमध्ये सामील झालं पाहिजे याच्यासाठी त्या प्रॅक्टिस करतो ते इन्स्टिट्यूशनला ट्रेन करून पुढे जर प्रोजेक्ट त्या एरियामध्ये तर ते लोकांनी विकासाची प्रक्रिया जी आहे ती करून ठेवावी याच्यासाठी आम्ही काम इन्स्टिट्यूशनच्या माध्यमातून करतो त्याचं मग इन्स्टिट्यूशन पण आहे तालुका लेवलला आहेत आणि ग्रासरूट आपण आहे आणि ज्या काही आपल्या गोष्टी आहेत त्या आपण इन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे ते इन्स्टिट्यूशन वेगवेगळ्या किंवा पाणी आहे ते पण आहे ते फार्म प्रोड्यूस करून कंपनी आहे तालुका तयार केलेलं आहे त्याचे जे ते सोडवण्यासाठी तसं उत्पादक कंपन्यांच्या माध्यमातून आपण शेतकऱ्यांना संघटित करतो संघटित करून त्यांच्यामध्ये शैक्षणिक वाढ शोषण कसं थांबेल त्यांना सप्लाय जो आहे तो कसा मिळेल त्यासाठी काही आउटपुट आहे त्याचे काही उत्पादन याच्यासाठी आपण त्यांना तयार करतो त्या संस्थांच्या माध्यमातून लोकल गव्हर्नन्स कार्यक्रम काम करतोय ते आपण बघतोय की 33% आरक्षण म्हणतोय महिला आपण त्या सर्वांच्या चांगलं धोरण केलं 33% आरक्षण केलेलं पण ते जर आपण विचार केला त्याचे सरपंच असेल किंवा पदाधिकारी महिला आहेत बघतोय स्टॅम्पसाठी वापर ते आपण काही सुद्धा करू शकतो महिला डिसिजन घेऊ शकत तो डिसिजन घेत याच्यासाठी पण आम्ही जागरूकता करतोय गव्हर्नन्समध्ये आपण कसं आलं पाहिजे शासनाच्या योजना आहेत ते विकासाची जी प्रक्रिया नेमकी राबवली जाते त्या संस्थांच्या पण कसं डिसिजन मध्ये आलं पाहिजे ते येत नाही म्हणून गव्हर्नमेंट त्या ठिकाणी आहे त्या ठिकाणी विकासाची प्रक्रिया आपण म्हणतो आपण बघतो आणि ते रिजन निवडले त्या रिजनमध्ये तर एक लिगल प्रॉब्लेम आहे म्हणून आपण केलं पाहिजे त्याच्यात काय उचलले पाहिजे त्याच्यासाठी वर्क एंटरप्राइज आपलं एक तिसरं सेक्टर आहे कारण काय नुसतं तुम्हाला दाखवून त्याच्याबरोबर एक्सप्लेन करणं तुम्हाला गरजेचं वाटतंय वर्क अँड एंटरप्राइज मध्ये आम्ही स्किल बिल्डिंग करत असतो स्किल डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह होती असते त्याची आणि काही स्वयंरोजगार करण्यासाठी जे लोक आहेत का ते काही महिला आहेत पुरुष आहेत स्वयंरोजगारासाठी जर त्यांच्याकडे काही अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेस आहेत ते पुरवत असतो ते डिटेल मॅडम त्याचं बोलतो हे खूप महत्वाचं सेक्टर टीम आहे त्याच्यावर आम्ही काम करतो हे जे आपण टोटल एरिया एरिया सांगितला किंवा जे काही पुष्कळ प्रदेश सांगितला तर त्या एरियाज मध्ये आपण आता सरांनी सांगितलं आपल्याला ते वेगवेगळे उदाहरण त्याने सांगितलं कसं काय आहे आपलं हे जर डिजिटल सांगितलं आपण पण त्याच रोजगार करू शकतो आपल्या कपॅसिटी जेवढ्या चांगल्या आहेत तेवढं आपण चांगलं चांगला काम करू शकतो म्हणून हे आम्ही कसा करता येईल त्याच्यामध्ये ज्या प्रॅक्टिसेस आहेत बिहेवियर चेंज आहेत ते कसं लोकांमध्ये आणता येईल त्याच्यासाठी हे वॉटर रिसोर्स डेव्हलपमेंट मध्ये वेगवेगळे आम्ही काम केले सांगितलं त्याच्यात सोलर आहे रिनोव्हेशन आहे त्याचा उपयोग पाणी स्टोरेज होऊन कसं इरिगेशन होतं नेक्स्ट सॉइल अँड वॉटर कन्झर्वेशन आता त्याच्याविषयी काही हजार याच्यासोबत आम्ही पुस्तक झालं आम्ही ते काही जे काही सॉइल मधून होतंय याला ट्रीटमेंट करण्यासाठी पण टेक्निकल सायंटिफिक पद्धतीने आम्हाला काम करावं लागेल दुसरं जर कुठून होणार नाही तर ते पद्धतीने कशी लागते कारण डिझाईन करून आमचे आमच्याकडे प्रत्येक ऑफिसला इंजिनियर्स आहेत सिव्हिल इंजिनियर्स आहेत ते आम्ही आपण केले आणि ते ठरवतात की या एरियासाठी ते वाटण्याचे काय आहे वाटण्याचे सोडल्यानंतर पुढे प्लॅनिंग करतो थेट बँकेच्या माध्यमातून वेगवेगळे ते ऍप्लिकेबल त्या वेगवेगळे टूल्स आहेत त्यासाठी वेगवेगळे स्ट्रक्चर आहेत आणि हे स्ट्रक्चर बनवले त्याच्यासाठी प्लॅनेशन करतो प्लॅनेशन होणार तोपर्यंत पाहिजे थांबणार सीसीटी म्हणजे जाते 2-3%. त्याच्यानंतर मग ती माती व्हायला लागेल त्याच्यानंतर त्या ठिकाणी जंगल झाड माती भरली त्याच्यासाठी पण एक आरसीटी प्लॅनेशन नेक्स्ट ते आमच्या वॉटर चॅम्पियन आम्ही जे काम केलं संस्थेने तर त्याच्यानंतर गीता पटेल त्यानंतर वॉटर चॅम्पियनचा अवॉर्ड दिला त्यांनी वॉटर चॅम्पियन वॉटर वॉरियर काही असे काही एरियामध्ये आम्ही काम करतो त्या एरियामध्ये खूप मोठे पिण्यासाठी पाणी पण अवेलेबल असतं पाणी अवेलेबल नाही आहे आणि मग त्याच्यामध्ये किती पाणी पुरवठा करणार तुम्ही 10 वापरायला असाल त्या ठिकाणी शिवर पाण्याचं आहे की पाऊस जर थांबला तर आपण कसं की जमिनीत कोरडी होती जमलं तरी आपण तो पाण्याच्या आरोग्य तर एक पाऊस करावे या एरियात एक तास बघून एकदम पाणी म्हणतात अशा एरियामध्ये पाणी करायचं तर ते कम्युनिटीला घेऊन प्रभाव टाकून वेगवेगळ्या पद्धतीतून ते काम संस्थेने केलं आहे त्या लोकांना पिण्याच्या पाण्याचे किंवा इतर जे काही प्रश्न आहेत ते सोडवण्यासाठी प्रयत्न केले संस्थेला अवॉर्ड पण मिळालेला आहे बोला. आमचा प्रोग्राम आहे इंटरव्हेन्शन टू स्ट्रेंथन फाइव कॅपिटल ऑफ लाईव्हलीहूड. जे लाईव्हसाठी वेगवेगळे कॅपिटल पेंटागॉन दिलाय लाईव्हचा प्रकार, त्याला अनुसरून आम्ही ते करत असतो. आणि हे करत असताना जेंडर ट्रान्सफॉर्मेटिव्ह अप्रोचने आम्ही काम करतो. जे काही काम करतोय आम्ही तीन अप्रोचेस आपल्याला माहिती असतील. ते काय प्रोजेक्ट करतो सोशल डेव्हलपमेंटसाठी, तर त्याच्यावर एक आहे की जेंडर लाईव्ह. म्हणजे आपण जो करतो त्याला आपण तर तिथं आपण बघत नाही हा प्रत्येकाचा परिणाम चांगला किती वाईट म्हणजे काय काय हे म्हणजे जेंडर काय म्हणतो जेंडर सेन्सिटिव्ह म्हणजे या कुटुंबासाठी आपण त्या महिलांचा विचार करतोय. या कुटुंबातील आवश्यक का महिलांसाठी आपण काय काय करायचं, तर त्याचा विचार त्या ठिकाणी तो त्यांना लाभापर्यंत पोहोचवणं. म्हणजे एखादा टूल द्यायचं आहे की काय करतो आपण त्या प्रोजेक्टमध्ये बनवतो. आणि सेन्सिटायझेशन सेन्सिटिव्ह आहे. तिसरा मेन अप्रोच आहे की जेंडर ट्रान्सफॉर्मेटिव्ह. हे जे काही आपण करतो महिला कशा घेतील डिसिजन मेकिंग मध्ये, आणि वेगवेगळे जे काही धारणा आहेत समाजात त्या धारणांच्या विरुद्ध कसं ते प्लॅटफॉर्मवर घेऊन त्या जे काही नीतीने बनवणारे इन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे त्या दिसतात पण कधी दिसत पण, तर त्या इन्स्टिट्यूशन मध्ये महिला कशा येतील आणि त्या इन्स्टिट्यूशनचे धारणा चेंज करण्यासाठीचं काम करणं म्हणजे जेंडर ट्रान्सफॉर्मेटिव्ह अप्रोच. आणि प्रकल्प करत असताना हा अप्रोचने काम करत असतो जेणेकरून महिलांवर होत परिणाम दुष्परिणाम नको आहे त्यांचे साठी याचा चांगला परिणाम असतो ते आम्ही करत असतो. पण त्याच्यासाठी वेगवेगळ्या कॅपिटलच्या माध्यमातून आम्ही प्रयत्न करतो. सोशल मीडिया मी आता बोललो कम्युनिटी इन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे, गव्हर्नमेंट अपेक्स इन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे. ह्युमन कॅपिटल मध्ये आम्ही काय करतो की त्या जे काही ह्युमन बीइंग्स आहेत त्यांच्यासोबत आम्ही काम करतो. त्यांच्यासाठी ट्रेनिंग आहे, एक्सपोर्ट आहे, त्यामध्ये प्रयत्न करतो. लिडरशिप डेव्हलपमेंट खूप मोठा रोल आहे त्यासाठी. नॅचरल रिसोर्स मॅनेजमेंट ज्या जमीन जंगल जनावर याच्यासाठीच्या डेव्हलपमेंटसाठी आपल्याला काय काय ते उपक्रम करत असतो. फिजिकल इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर जे आहे ते आता आपण प्रिपेअर केलं, ते मेंटेन कसं करायचं हे आपण शिकवणं किंवा याच्यासाठी एक काम करणं. तसंच इतर काही इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर जे आहे त्या इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर साठी पण काम करत असते. आणि फायनान्शियल कॅपिटल त्यांचं लोकांचं तयार केलं पाहिजे. लहान मुलांना त्याचा जवळजवळ 2-3 लाख रुपये सेव्हिंग झाली तर बँकेने आम्ही लोन दिलो. ते मला कसं म्हणतात की पैसा बँकेत करून घेतो त्यामुळे आपल्याला पैसा कसा आपण याच्यासाठी ते करून घेतली. त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही क्रेडिट वॉरंटी सुरू केलेली आहे. आणि आम्ही सुरू केलं टीचर चांगले असले तर त्याचं रिप्रेझेंटेशन आम्ही त्या एरियाजमध्ये पण करणार आहोत. या 5 कॅपिटलच्या बेसवर आम्ही काम करतो. मेजर राजकारण जर आपण 5 वर्षात पाहिलं तरी जवळजवळ 30 लाख आम्ही लावलेले आहेत. 1,75,000 लोकांनी इंडिपेंडंट प्रॅक्टिसेस अडॉप्ट केलेले आहेत. 522 वॉटर रिहॅबिलिट केलेले आहेत. कंपनीज केलेले आहेत. तसंच महिलांचे फेडरेशन्स केलेले आहेत. जवळपास 1 लाख महिला गटामध्ये जोडलेले आहेत. 34 केंद्र म्हणजे ट्रेनिंगचे सेंटर म्हणून ठिकठिकाणी केलेले आहेत. जवळजवळ 35 ते प्लस मायग्रेंट ऑर्गनायझेशन सपोर्ट केले. 3,500 गावांमध्ये संस्थेचं काम चालू आहे. एक क्युम्युलेटिव्ह अचीवमेंट आहे. ते काय मेजर आवाज 5 वर्षाचे नॅशनल वॉटर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ती कडनं नॅशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिपचा अवॉर्ड पण झालेला आहे. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पद्मश्री अवॉर्ड मिळालेला आमचा हिरा दोघी आहे. कम्युनिटी लीडर आहे. खूप मोठं योगदान त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे. नारी शक्ती पुरस्कार मिळाल्यानंतर उषाबेन वसावा राजपूतला आपण जन्मगाठी टीमचे आहेत त्यांच्या बेस्ट वॉटर डेव्हलपमेंट एजन्सी नावाकरण झालेलं आहे. ठिकठिकाणी पण वाटर बेस्ट एसएसजी प्रमुख एजन्सी म्हणून नावाकरण पण आम्हाला मिळालेलं आहे. बेस्ट वॉटर युजर असोसिएशन याच्यासाठी मी पण ते अवॉर्ड मिळालेलं आहे. वॉटर युजर असोसिएशन एरिया आहे त्या बऱ्यापैकी त्याच्यासाठी त्या सोसायटी आम्ही त्यांना कपॅसिटी करतोय. गव्हर्नमेंटसोबत आम्ही हे काम करतोय आणि मग ते कसं करायचं, पाण्याचं वितरण कसं होईल, त्याचे रेग्युलर कपॅसिटी काही ऍक्टिव्हिटीचे हे फोटोग्राफ्स आहेत, हे क्वेश्चन सर्च आम्ही काम करतो. वेगवेगळ्या रेसिपीचे आम्ही स्पर्धा घेतो. त्यामुळे रेसिपी बनवतात. जे काही मुलांचे वजन असेल, स्किन असेल, ते आरोग्यासाठी आहेत वगैरे, त्या हे काम ग्रासरूटला जाऊन अंतिम जे कुटुंब आहे सर्वस्कर त्याच्यापर्यंत पोहोचतंय. पोषण महाप्रोग्राम. नेक्स्ट थँक्स.
मुझे हेड ऑफिस आहे ऍड्रेस.
हेड ऑफिस जे आहे आमचं अहमदाबादला. Any question?
विद्या विकास मंडळ संचालित सीताराम गोविंद पाटील कला सोबत काम करतो. त्या मेन बद्दल सपोर्ट की सोच युवा जंक्शन असं आमच्या कार्यक्रमाचं नाव आहे. जंक्शन मधून गाडी जाऊ शकते, बरोबर. तर आपल्या युवा जंक्शन वरती मुलांची एक चांगल्या जॉब साठी त्यांना चांगला चांगला माहिती आहे आम्ही कसं लाईफ करतो. एक डिग्री देणं त्यांना देणं म्हणजे प्लेसमेंट देणं फक्त त्यांना लेबर असं आमचं आम्ही आता सगळ्या विद्यार्थ्यांना ऑर्गनाइज्ड सेक्टर मध्ये प्लेस केलेलं आहे. We always place our student in organized sector. तर organized sector मध्ये कसा जॉब असतो एज्युकेट एम्प्लॉय माहिती द्या, मुलांना एज्युकेट करा आणि त्यांना रोजगार द्या आणि त्यांना त्यांच्याकडून उपयोजक पण बनवा असं की मोठं आहे. तर जो प्रायव्हेट सगळे चॅलेंज येतात. अगर संस्थेने केले की प्रायव्हेट at the same time त्यांचे aspirations काय आहेत, एक aspiration स्टडी करण्यात आला आहे की वारंवार कोणतेही कार्य हे सांगत असते की नास्को ही जी संस्था रिसर्च करते सर आणि रिसर्च करून त्या रिसर्च मध्ये रिपोर्ट जनरेट होतो. त्या रिपोर्ट मध्ये मी 2023 रिपोर्ट मध्ये असं लिहा तर तुझ्या झालं होतं की एव्हरी इयर देयर आर 7+ युनिव्हर्सिटीज इन इंडिया. आपल्या भारतामध्ये 700+ सिटीज आहेत. असं का होते कारण एव्हरी वी कॅन स्थापन होत असते. पण या 700+ मध्ये दरवर्षी 10 बिलियन विद्यार्थी 10 बिलियन स्टुडंट डिग्रीचे शिक्षण घेऊन डिग्री घेऊन बाहेर पडतात. आणि हे 10 बिलियन स्टुडंट्स डिग्रीचे शिक्षण घेऊन बाहेर पडल्याच्या नंतर जेव्हा त्या इंडस्ट्रीला विचारण्यात आलं, इंडस्ट्री सोबत ऍस्पिरेशनल स्टडी करण्यात आली, तेव्हा त्या स्टडी मध्ये इंडस्ट्रीने असं सांगितलं की ओनली 10% ग्रॅज्युएट्स आर एलिजिबल टू ग्रॅब द जॉब अपॉर्च्युनिटीज. म्हणजे स्वतः इंडस्ट्री सांगते की 10% मुलं जॉब घेतात. तर मला सांगा की असं का सांगते? दे आर नॉट स्किल्ड इनफ, दे आर नॉट हॅव्हिंग स्किल्स. म्हणजे आपल्या मुलांकडे आर्ट्स सायन्स कॉमर्सच्या पदवीच्या पदवीच्या पदवी आहेत, पण त्यांना किती PhD वगैरे करणार असेल. तर हे शाश्वत सत्य आहे आणि त्यामुळे आमच्यासारख्या एनजीओला कक्षेच्या विकास त्यांचं काम करतो. तर या सगळ्या यंत्रणा संस्थेने का काम करावं वाटतं आणि संस्थेने का हस्तक्षेप केला आपण त्याच्या घरातील आणि एकच असा भाग कुठल्या किंवा ना तो मध्ये केलेली आहे. लास्ट स्लाइड आहे म्हणजे लोकशाही असते आमची दिलेली आहे पण ही जी मेजर अचिव्हमेंट आहे की आतापर्यंत आम्ही 35,000 ट्रेन केलेला आहे, 21,000 विद्यार्थी टेस्ट केलेला आहे आणि जेंडर रेशो जर बघितला तर 52% फिमेल आहे आणि 48% मेल आमच्याकडे आहे. सोशल कॅटेगरीनुसार जर बघितलं तर जास्तीत जास्त फायदा एसटी कॅटेगरीला दिला गेलेला आहे. नेक्स्ट याचा स्टेजेस आहेत आमच्या ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूलच्या. नेक्स्ट काही स्नॅपशॉट्स आहेत मध्ये आमचा कसा प्रोग्राम चालतो. वेगवेगळ्या मार्गदर्शक असेल विद्यार्थ्यांना प्लेसमेंट दिलेली आहे. आमची जी 21,000 विद्यार्थी आता तुमच्या विद्यालयामध्ये आणि आम्ही 600 प्लस त्यामुळे याच्यामध्ये सगळे येतात पण मुलांना शोधून आणणं, त्यांना ड्राईव्हला बसवणं आणि त्याच्यानंतर त्यांना जॉबला जाणं कॉलेजसाठी संस्थेसाठी आम्हाला सगळे सांगू ऐकलं असेल विकासात खूप जास्त झाले सगळीकडे होते. मग आता नवीन स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट का तर आमचा एक स्कीम असा आहे की माहिती या डिफरंट मी तुम्हाला सांगते की इव्हन तुमच्या डिफरंट का आहे कारण सगळे जण मुलांना रोजगार पण आमची संस्था त्याच्या पुढे एक स्टेप जाऊन मुलांना रोजगार देण्यासाठी मायग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर आहे. हे मायग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर आहेत म्हणजे आता एकदम साखरीतल्या ग्रामीण भागातला मुलगा ज्याला लागले मुंबई आणि गेला जॉब लागले सिटीमध्ये लागले नाशिक सुरत तर आम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांना 45 दिवस मायग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर प्रोव्हाइड करतो आणि या मायग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर मध्ये मुलींना गॅस राहण्याची व्यवस्था वॉटर या सगळ्या फॅसिलिटी देतो जेणे सॅलरी की त्या मेट्रो सिटी मध्ये स्टेबल होईल त्या सिक्युरिटी मिळेल होम सिकनेस तिच्याकडे नसेल अशी फर्दर पुढे जाऊन एक स्टेप आहे प्लेसमेंट सपोर्ट आणि ॲल्युमिनाय सपोर्ट पण आम्ही करतो. 20-21,000 ॲल्युमिनाय आहे जिथे गेले तिथे आमचे ॲल्युमिनाय काम करणारे असतात आणि तिथून आमच्या जे नवीन जॉईन झालेली मुलं आहेत त्यांना सपोर्ट करत असतात. त्यामुळे इमर्जन्सी एक स्टेप पुढे जाऊन असं वेगळं काम करतो. नेक्स्ट these are some camps to explain now.
यांनी आपल्या सादरीकरणातून आगामी ग्राम समर्थन कार्यक्रम भारत यांच्या विविध कार्यांवर फोकस केला. यानंतर मंचावरील उपस्थित सन्माननीय पाहुणे आहेत त्यांचा तरी आजच्या या सेशनच्या अध्यक्षा गीता पटेल यांचं सत्कार प्राध्यापक विविध यांच्या करतो. धन्यवाद. यानंतर ॲडव्होकेट गोविंद मॅडम यांचा सत्कार प्राध्यापक किशोर मोरे सर यांनी त्यांना विनंती करतो आणि मॅडम त्याचा सत्कार करावा असे त्यांना विनंती. यानंतर मंडल सतीश तोरवणे स्वीकार करावा त्याला विनंती. क्वेश्चन बात केली सर याचा प्रकार तुमच्या यानंतर सदर संघाच्या अध्यक्षा आणि प्रदेश मॅडम यांना मी विनंती करतो की त्यांनी 5 मिनिटात आपला अध्यक्षीय समारोप करा.
बहुत बढ़िया. टाइम को मैनेज करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो मेरे ऐसे भी आवाज बहुत ज्यादा है तो माइक की जरूरत इतनी कम पड़ती है. एक बार सबको थोड़ा सा हाथ लंबा कर सकते हैं क्या? कर सकते हैं क्या? ठीक है. तो हम एक एक एक्टिविटी करेंगे थोड़ा सा क्योंकि अभी थोड़ी नींद जैसी हो रही है तो हम अभी हमारी इतनी जिंदगी बिता दी. बहुत सारे लोग अभी यंग भी हैं और हमारे जैसे लोग अभी कहीं ना कहीं एक अनुभव करते करते जा रहे हैं, है ना. तो खुद के लिए अप्रिशिएट होना बहुत जरूरी है ना. तो खुद के लिए 3 तालियां बजानी है. तालियां खुद के लिए कैसी होती है? खुद के लिए ऐसी होती है, मैं बता देती हूँ पहले. ऐसे 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 होती है, हमें आवाज आनी चाहिए. हाँ, तो शुरू करते हैं. स्टार्ट. हाँ. अभिनंदन सबको. ऐसे में आप सबसे विनती से पूछना चाहती हूँ कि सही में पानी के लिए क्या करना चाहिए. सही में पानी नहीं है ऐसा अनुभव आपका है क्या? सही में पानी आने वाले समय में बचने वाला है कि नहीं? तो वो एक थोड़ा सा कोई भी मुझे एक आध बता दे तो मुझे समझ में आएगा कि सही में ये वाटर में दिखाया तो सही में सक्सेस भी है कि नहीं. ओके, बहुत बढ़िया. स्टोर करना पड़ेगा मतलब कि जहां रोज से पानी गिरता है वहीं से शुरुआत करते करते नीचे तक हमको जाना पड़ेगा. शुरुआत किसको करनी पड़ेगी? हम खुद को करनी पड़ेगी. तो जो एक मेरे प्रेजेंट हमारे प्रेजेंटेशन में एक था पहाड़ था, वहां नीता खड़ी थी कुछ, है ना. तो ये एरिया है हमारे वलसाड़ का कपराड़ा एरिया, है ना. तो हम ऐसे पहाड़ तक घोड़े देख रहे हैं, बहुत सारे देख रहे हैं. तो आप सर ने बहुत अच्छी बात बताई कि पानी रोकना चाहिए. तो रोकने के लिए हमको एफर्ट करना पड़ेगा. हम ये सब मानते हैं कि जहाँ पर पानी है वहाँ इतनी महसूस नहीं होता है कि पानी की कीमत क्या है. लेकिन जहाँ पर हम ऐसी जगह पे जाते हैं, अभी चलिए चलिए बस लास्ट का साइड में क्यों ऐसा मैं कह रही हूँ कि प्रकृति जब प्रलय करती है तो साइड में बहुत सारा चलन आता है. इसमें एक एक मुद्दा ये भी है. तो ये पहाड़ पकड़ा के ये पहाड़ भी पूरा ऊपर से चढ़ी हुए और हमने वहां ट्रीटमेंट करना शुरू किया था लास्ट के लिए. तो हमारे भी एरिया में ऐसी जगह होगी, ऐसा घर होगा, ऐसी नल होगी, है ना. बहुत सारे सिटीज में ऐसे महसूस नहीं होता है. सिर्फ इतना ही महसूस होता है कि पानी का नल नहीं आया और पानी वाला पता नहीं कहाँ चला गया तो पानी छोड़ा नहीं, इतना ही आता है. और जब सिटी से बाहर निकलते हैं, अगर तो अपनी सोसाइटी से बाहर निकलते हैं तो बहुत कहता है, तो उसको हम टोटल कर ले जाते हैं. लेकिन बाहर में जब जाते हैं तब वहाँ की बचाओ वहाँ के स्वागत को की वेदनाएं जाते हैं. तो सभी में बहुत अंदर आज भी है. तो मैं पेपर वितरण नहीं करूंगी. सॉरी, मेरा थोड़ा एक कहना रह गया था इसके लिए तो हम करते हैं. तो महिलाएं इसके सीधा संपर्क है पानी ज्यादा थोड़े भी सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन महिलाओं को ज्यादा से ज्यादा टेंशन लेना पड़ता है. तो इसमें एग्रीकल्चर बेस भी काम किया। सोलर पीवी करके एक बिहार में किया, पानी का एक एहसास भी है और एग्रीकल्चर उसका लेकिन भी बढ़ भी क्लियर हो फिर वो बेटा एक बिजनेस में करती, लेकिन वो बिजनेस में और पानी के साथ कैसे आगे एम्पावरमेंट होती जाती है, वो भी एक एग्जांपल किया है। और बिहार गवर्नमेंट ने अभी सोलर पीवी का मॉडल भी अडॉप्ट किया है। तो ये भी एक चला था, तो वो भी एक हमारी एक यूनिवर्सिटी ने शुरुआत करके एक मॉडल क्रिएट किया था। पार्टिसिपेटरी रूरल अप्रोच वो भी पॉलिसी में इंक्लूड करके भी अभी सारे फार्मर पानी को यूज कर रहे हैं। तो पानी और पानी बहुत समझ के यूज करना चाहिए, ताकि आने वाले समय में हमको हमारी पीढ़ी को कह के भी जाना है, दे के भी जाना है। और फिर all of you, thank you.
everyone, या म्हणजे आगामी ग्राम संवर्धन कार्यक्रम या प्रोग्रामची जर प्रश्न असतील तर कृपया विचारावे. सेशन यानंतर सदर सत्राच्या आवाज प्रदर्शनासाठी
विचारायचे and also try to service program. We visualize the picture, service provide, and how we take care of the Patil. Thanks, slide. It is pleasure to welcome you all to this session. This session promises to be in intellectual engaging and inspiring as we get to explore the effects in the field of humanities studies. And for this session, we have Dr. Patil, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of English, Sitaram College of Mandal, as a chairperson, and Dr. Ma'am as a resource person, and Ma'am will be
talk about interdisciplinary perspective on humanity. At the outset, I would like to respectfully welcome our esteemed chairperson of this session and also respectfully welcome to our esteemed invited speaker on this session, Professor Dr. Mandal. First of all, now I request to Dr. Professor, please to kindly felicitate our esteemed chairperson, Dr. Patil. Now I request Dr. Dhule to kindly felicitate our invited speaker, Professor Dr. Patil, as a token of our respect and gratitude. Thank you, ma'am. We are honored to have you with us. Now, it is my proud privilege to introduce our invited speaker for this session, Dr. Patil. Respected ma'am, Professor and Head of the PE Department of English at Vidya College, affiliated to the University of Mumbai. Ma'am has 25 years of undergraduate degree experience and 21 years of postgraduate experience. 16 years of the research career. Her area of research includes Commonwealth literature, Indian English literature, translation studies, gender studies, American literature, and the English for the competitive examination. Ma'am served as elected academic council member of the University of Mumbai for the term of 2007 to 2022 and the 2023 to 2027. And as an elected select member from 2010 to 2015, Ma'am is a recognized postgraduate teacher and the PhD research guide in English at the University of Mumbai. Ma'am served as a member of the Board of Studies in English at the University of Mumbai and the SP College, right? And currently a member of the Board of Studies in English at the Sakri University, Pune, Sangam College, and the MPP College of Malegaon. Ma'am has also been nominated as the Vice Chancellor nominee to the Board of Studies in English at Isnar Hazariman Somani College, Mumbai, where we also participated College, and the KS Mumbai of Mumbai. Ma'am is a life member of the Indian Association of the Indian Studies and the Indian Association of the Canadian Studies. He served as the Secretary of the Higher Education and the Research Society of Mumbai. Ma'am has recently received a numerous prestigious awards, including the Academic Excellence Award, Best Teacher, Global Research Excellence Award, Distinguished Professor Award, the 100 Inspirational Education Icon Award 2025, and the APJ Abdul Kalam International Excellence Award 2020. Ma'am has published an Indian utility patent on an AI-enabled workplace vision of the teaching critical thinking and has also been awarded a design patent for the English pronunciation feedback devices. Ma'am is actively involved in the academic leadership as editor of the contemporary discourse and the literary insight and the chief advisor of the Journal of Higher Education and Research Society. Ma'am has successfully guided 12 PhD scholars and is currently supervising 5 research scholars. Ma'am has organized several national and international conferences, delivers numerous keynote lectures and invited talks, and has published extensively in a reputed national and international journals. With such illustrious academic journey and remarkable contribution to the field of English, we are truly fortunate to have her with us. And without further delay, I invite Dr. Margiri ma'am to give us valuable lecture.
Everyone is this and the principal of college of Patil Arts Science and Commerce College. Introduce and Dr. Lisa. Before I begin with, I would like to first thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to thank all of you all. I know it's been very tiring staying here in the hall morning. So I'll keep you all awake. That is my responsibility. I don't talk much, but whatever I'm going to talk is definitely going to make you think. Because that is what is necessary at this moment. All of us can stop thinking these days because we are in the world of algorithm. We are in the world of numericals. We are in the world of AI. The AI has confined us to only two things. And that is why let me get the very good set. Congratulate the organizers for taking such a interesting topic. It is interdisciplinary. And the speaker, the morning, somebody said it's not just interdisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary, it is multidisciplinary, it is multilingual, it is multicultural, it is multisocial. So many multiples have entered our life unknowingly. We don't know how much really know where we are and where we belong. With any being in existence, no more at the threshold, it has already entered our houses. And we all are dealing with it. English teacher, teaching philosophy, no IKS, mythology, no IKS, and OE, numerous subjects which we are not even interested in. But one good thing that I have noticed of late is how we are adapting to the present situation of this intermediate activities, intermediate streams, and most of the interdisciplinary faculties that we have been interacting with our stuff of the science. Now, as far as the present situation is concerned, where do we really belong to? What is our identity? Are we the teachers of English anymore, or are we the teachers of any language, or are we also teachers of science? Because gradually, we are going to become like hodgepodge, doing everything at the same time. But coming to the theme of the conference, where we are supposed to discuss how this interdisciplinary perspective is going to affect each one's life. It has already affected, knowingly or unknowingly. This is going to matter to all of us in the coming years. Because the algorithm that is said, and this algorithm has not been said now, it has been said long back. This interdiscipline has entered our lives long back. But knowingly or unknowingly, we either ignored it, or we did not take cognizance of it, or we were not aware of it, or we took it willingly as a part and parcel of our profession as teachers. I would like to give you an example. The example is of the COVID period. During the pandemic, there were teachers who were not able to adapt to the existing crisis at that time, and they had to take VRS and sit at home because they were not cope with the online teaching. We as teachers who are young and dynamic and can handle multiple things, that is why this multi thing has also entered our lives. So inter has entered, multi has entered, multilingual. Because transnational, translanguaging. That's what I hope most of the teaching faculty and teaching English. And that's why. In language, also language teaching, translanguaging has come into the classrooms. We no more tell our students to speak only in English, though we are English speakers. Do we tell students that? No. We allow them to speak Hindi, we allow them to speak Hindi, Marathi, English, and tell them, you speak whatever you want. Why do we do that? We have been doing it for last maybe 2-3 years or maybe more than that. There was also concern raised in the market, which is very important for all of us to enter in such a travel. Why students are not turning to the classroom? What new is happening in the classroom? What should be done? Conference is the platform where we can deliberate and discuss and come to some consensus. So what really is done? Now, as far as this interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary things are concerned, the first and foremost thing is the students that we have vernacular medium should also feel comfortable in the classrooms when we are standing ahead of them. But when we as English teachers go in front of them and start formatting them with only English, then they are also confused. So let us just try to figure out what exactly happens when it comes to this very important and this big inter. Now, as far as interdisciplinary is concerned, yes, definitely with NAB, science, art, commerce, all the three faculties are mingling very hand. Ultimate end, what is the ultimate result? The continuous evaluation and assessment that we are doing. What exactly is happening? Are they really getting something? Are we able to do something to them? These are the questions which are like, they are still unanswered, and I don't know. Even after 3 or 5 years, whether we'll be able to really answer it. Now, as far as what really attacks me is perspective of science, humanity, see the chronology also of the title is given. Science. Why science first? Because we all become a part and parcel of science, willingly or unwillingly, each one of us, who entire day are the surveillance. This small gadget that we have in is a surveillance device and it is observing us. It is thinking for us. It is writing for us. It has become like algorithm, matrix, it has changed our life. If I have to grab something, if I have to write something, what would I do at this moment? I would use Gemini, Calcol, or maybe Notebook or ChatGPT. I am going to use all those multi-dimensional AI, artificial intelligence. Now, see, this word is also very interesting. Artificial. It is not natural. It is not God gifted. It is created by us. It is artificial. And that is why when students ask this question and when they don't come to the class, we wonder why they are not coming to the class. The first question is what students want from us with the question answer and the examination. They are like focused and with blinkers. Students are like with blinkers. They come to the class only for examination that they should pass. हमको pass होना है. So when they come into class, they want to pass examination, and for that, they come in the classroom. Especially these days, they come for the revision lecture because they know teachers will discuss all what is important in the revision lecture. They will not come for the regular lecture, but they will come for the revision lecture because they know they want to pass the examination. Now, why they need us? Because they have technology. Technology just at the fingertip, just a click of buttons, and you will be able to get whatever answer, whatever study materials, whatever solutions you want. Now, let us give you an example. Today morning, I was watching a news channel, and the news was about Mr. Patil. The news was about Mr. Patil, who has conquered the financial world, the commercial world, and because of him, the share market of various software industries are dwindling. Can you imagine? What has this person done? This person who is from India, who is from Maharashtra, now is in Amazon. Okay, and from there, he has prepared software wherein the software will be easily able to give you programming in a click of a button. Can you imagine? Where could the computer engineers go? This fear was lurking in the heart of the teachers also once upon a time. When AI came, teachers were also scared whether AI will replace teachers. That's not going to. My students also asked, that's not possible because whether it is ChatGPT or whether it is Gemini or whichever AI app you're going to use, unless research scholars like us don't put it on the net, it's not going to search and give it to you. So ultimately, human beings or natural intellect is essential. So artificial intelligence and real intelligence or natural intelligence is something which already is going to remain and it's going to remain forever. But one thing we have to understand that it is going to change. The form is going to change. And when the form would change, we will have to adapt to it. We cannot sit and crib and say, oh, I don't know, I can't do it. The स्वप्नात असेल करायचं असेल तरी पण आपण त्याला सिस्टीम मधून आणि म्हणून whenever we think of this algorithms, whenever we think of AI, artificial intelligence, just imagine your entire day. Right from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, everything is monitored through your mobile phone. Your commercial things, whatever you want to buy online, whatever you want to sell online, whatever you want to write. Now we have stopped thinking. We all must have stopped thinking. And what do? We just give one prompt. Those prompts have become so essential in our life that we are forgetting that the level that is essential to keep any humanity alive is going to crash down. And if we want to keep this alive, we have to see to it that this algorithm also matches with the rhythm of our life by keeping ourselves healthy. Just give a command on ChatGPT, write a poem for me. So will it write for me? Yes or no? And just give a prompt, right? Today is Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So suppose if I say write a poem on Valentine's Day, ChatGPT within a spur of the moment is going to grab and poem and give it to me. Am I using my intellect? No. Am I using my creativity? No. And at the end of it, am I going to get any satisfaction that I should get? I'm not going to get it. And that is why it is very essential for all of us. See this chronology that science will gradually conquering the humanities But humanities will always survive because humanity is the soul of the political things that we talk about. Everything. So it's not just that we are going to talk about science and humanities commerce. That's the commerce also. The day-to-day commerce that we are dealing with, right now buying milk or buying something from Swiggy, Zomato, or all the apps, whichever app we are using in the cell phone. One more thing, I don't know if it happens with every of us. Even if I at times I'm thinking of mushrooms. Right? And I have one search mushroom, and the other time I say mushroom, I get Swiggy showing me only mushroom. Why? Is it reading your mind? Is it reading your mind? No, it's not reading my mind, but what is it saying? It is watching you. You are under surveillance. You are under constant surveillance, and that is why. Again, if you go back to literature, if you go back to, for example, John Orwell's 1984, those are teachers of English sitting here. George Orwell's novel in 1984 speaks of the same surveillance in which we all human beings were, right? Imaginary. Then George Orwell's animal farm also we have seen. Now, George 1984 is the novel in which to analyze here. We are constantly under surveillance. There is stated in the novel says, Big Brother is watching you. You're not saying, you're not supposed to express, you're not supposed to write anything creative. You have to, like the Ministry of Truth is going to falsify the document. That sort of situation that we are into at this moment also is very alarming. It's not difficult to overcome this, but as teachers, it is our moral responsibility and also ethical responsibility to see to it that students turn to class. There was some solution which came up in the morning saying like we should have, like sir said, field activities. We can have some field activities, so some activities which will really bring back them to class. Apart from that, one thing what I have noticed is that the social connect that we have with students. How we were initially connected with our teachers, now we are not connected to our students anymore. Once upon a time, when we used to pass through the corridor, they used to back in the class, they teacher are there. Now we have to find our own way and ask them to excuse us to get into the class. Now we have to adapt to this situation, do all these things. Science, humanity, commerce, and moreover education. Now this last part is also very, very interesting for all of us because education is changing its form. Education is changing its form. It is becoming more, they want to becoming more techno-savvy. We are not able to adapt this at this moment, and we will not be able to survive. That is why there is no question of turning back and saying, I will not do it, or I don't understand, or I don't want. No, we just have to accept and go ahead with it. And that is why this platform, where we have such conferences, this will boost our morale to learn more. But that does not mean that copy paste edit that the students do the teachers must also. Because when it comes to such conferences and we talk about literature and humanities and sciences, social sciences, moreover, I always wonder in the 21st century that too, everything right from setting a question paper, like most of the teachers, most of the educators, academicians use AI to even set the question paper. Students are also clever enough to understand that. So what is my responsibility? What is my responsibility as a teacher? I have to read the primary text. I have to state that I'm going to bring something different. I know when I'm teaching, my student is sitting with the mobile in the class, the child is going to check whether whatever I'm teaching is right or wrong. Right? Pronunciation, whether my pronunciation is appropriate or not. In short, to adapt to the present situation and handle it is not just a challenge for us, but it's the need of the hour which we all will have to do. Such conferences definitely will allow us to deliberate or discuss, think, and come out with certain solutions. Now, apart from that, one very important thing when it comes to the philanthropy or the humanities. Humanities, like India has more than, I think, 300 plus languages. When we speak more than 300 plus languages, if you go to America or you go to Britain, they don't have many versions as such, except the regional variations in their pronunciation and dialect. But we have so many. How many of us really study and how many of us really dig into it and try to find what is there at the back end of the pattern of the language? No? Now, this is one thing, language as far as it is concerned. Second is the social changes that are coming up, the cultural changes that are coming up. Once upon a time, when we as teachers have cultural notions carried in the classroom, now they are no more allowed. Right? Now these notions that are changing, actually one day we will have students sitting at home and we will also be sitting at home and talking and teaching them through the social media or maybe through social platforms or online. So hybrid mode that has entered our lives unknowingly with the crisis that came as pandemic all over the country, we started learning and we started adapting to the Google Classrooms and Google Chats and the signboards, notebook elements, so many softwares. When it comes to this one thing of technology, there is no escape route. We all have to learn. We all have to adapt to. Because what I'm seeing in my classrooms today, students are more techno-savvy. If I have to make a PPT, I go the traditional way and do it. But they don't do it that. They do it just at the click of a command. Now, I just like to talk about one very interesting thing. Has it happened just in a decade or has it happened like very late? No, it has come long back. If we go into the film adaptation when we talk about, we go to Satyajit Ray's Anupul. Satyajit Ray's film Anupul projected a robot in 1976. In 1976, if Satyajit Ray has brought Anupul, the robot in the film, so now we are in 2026. So we can't say that it has come all of a sudden. We can't say that we didn't know this was coming. When typewriters were replaced by computers, there was a little bit of protest traditional car. It's going to replace human beings. So technology is obviously going to throw challenges at all of us, but we will have to survive through it with our own potential, with our own capacity. Because if we don't do it, then it's going to be, we are going to risk our own selves. Whether it is rural area, whether it is urban, whether it is metropolis, everywhere the situation is same. And that is why such things where we are discussing like humanities and cultural commerce and education. Education is getting more commercialized. Why students are turning to more skill-based courses, professional courses, because they want job oriented. They want to take majority of the students that we have in Mumbai, they belong to the category of earn and learn. They don't want to put their own responsibility on their family. They want to earn. Those students who are from earn and learn category, we have to cater to their needs also and provide them notes also. So obviously, I have to have a Google Classroom for that. Or some other source where students will feel a connect. So what we are now into, the century that we are into, the century of algorithms, and these algorithms are going to grow more faster, more speedier, and more rapid. And we have the alternative there to run. I have a very clear opinion because I'm seeing the changing generation. Whatever I'm saying, I'm not saying to scare you. I'm saying to allow me, but this is what is going to happen in the next few years. And this, whatever is going to happen in the next few years, will test our potential, our capacity, and also make us aware that we have to run this mad race if we have to be in this educational field. There is no other way out. You can't run, you can't take VRS, we are all still very young. The teacher who took VRS left out with only 2 years of service or 3 years of service. Apart from that, one more thing which I want to speak before never before in the human history, okay, have we possessed such extraordinary technological power which we have now. So let us take ultimum use of this technological power within our hand to teach the students, to reach up to them. Instead of sitting and criticizing and cribbing about technology, let us use it and how to use it to take students to the classroom. That is also something which we will have to do as teachers. Because there is only one way out to bring students to the class. There are a few students who are sitting here from morning. I don't know if this is interesting for them or not. Where the teacher teaches personally of Google Classroom, what difference it is they know. And human touch is always going to be there. There was a question which came in the last seminar when I was speaking. And the question was like whether libraries would vanish. We have all the books on internet archive you'll find, in PDF you'll find. So libraries can never ever go away. They'll always remain. Because ultimately the question of authenticity also comes. Where do I check the authenticity of the text that I have downloaded? For that I have to go to the library. But to those researchers who really want to validate their data, to validate their pieces or their research only for those students, so it will be limited. So these limitations will always be there. Nothing is going to vanish as far as we are concerned. Teachers are the backbone of every education. They always remain the backbone of education. Nothing, no AI can ever replace a teacher. You must feel like all of you must, when we watch reels, you must be seeing there are certain AI generated cartoons, caricatures, which teach. But the human touch, the emotional touch, the philanthropy that we feel, the warmth that we feel for our students, AI cannot. And that is what we have to back up. We have to back upon the emotional portion of the students as well. We have to back upon the warmth that we can give them as students. So such a platform when we are discussing this now, so much of data, like overloaded with data we have, right? We are overloaded with data right from the morning till evening. WhatsApp is flooded with messages. Somebody already said in the morning, we don't even read the message, we just forward it. So in the culture like this, where we are overloaded with data, what is truth? What is truth in the age of misinformation? Okay? What is identity in a digitalized world? What is freedom under surveillance? We all are free, we all are liberal, we all are emancipated. But still we are under surveillance. So is it real liberation in the real sense of the word liberated? We are free. I am free to talk what I want. I am free to search what I want. But am I really free? No, I am under surveillance. Somebody is watching me. Somebody is taking cognizance of what I am speaking now. Somebody is sitting and recording my lecture. Somebody is taking down the note. So I am not free in that. Then, and perhaps most importantly, what does it mean to be a human when machines begin to imitate us? The most important question, this is the most significant and the pivotal question which we all must answer. As teachers, if we are able to answer this one question, okay, I'm repeating, what does it mean to be human when machines begin to imitate us? Reference is again to AI. I put my photograph on an AI tool. It makes a caricature of me and a lecture is delivered. Audio, voice, information, everything is on Patil. So the fabrication of truth that is happening, fabrication of identity that is happening, hybridity that is coming into position. So where we are, I am good. So there is so much to be discussed. I know if I'm allowed to speak for 5 minutes more. So for centuries, the humanities have lived in these questions and they have preserved each and everything to their memory. God has given us memory. Your data may get corrupted in computer, but here what God has given to you. So your memory will always remain. I'm trying to get you back to what is more optimistic now. We're talking about so much of technology. I know it was a little bit of more bombarding for you all, but then I'm taking you back to the optimistic note that whatever is there in automation or in the coming times, in the next 10 years, now see our household kitchens. For soup, for making soup, I don't have to boil tomato so that add onion, put it and cinnamon and boil it and I just have to put it in one machine, the soup is ready. For chapati, you have similar sort of machine. You have microwave oven, right? You have a food processor at home. Everything is digitalized. Everything is automated. But the chapati that is rolled out by a mother will not ever have the taste of a machine made. That's your all agree. So human touch is always going to be there. It's always very essential for all of us to understand. Then the most important and significant thing as I was talking, that we have to preserve all this to our memory. And the tyranny that, like Madam was talking about the tribals and the marginalized who are still a part of the marginalized section whose people. I don't know who are into then all those who are on the periphery. If I have to talk and go back to humanities, all those who are on the periphery or the margin, like the transgender, the eunuch, or the tribal, or marginalized people, I mean to say. Now, who is at the center? If the center is not fixed, we know what happens. Right? And that is why the question will always remain that the center is the human touch. It is philanthropy, it is humanitarian attitude towards human beings and each other, which will always remain in the world of technology, irrespective of the fact which country we belong. So the humanities are often asked to justify their existence in the market-driven commercial world where money matters. Everything. I have heard people saying, "पैसा सब कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन पैसा ही सब कुछ है." 99 पैसा ही सब कुछ है. जो ऐसा बोलते हैं उनके पास बहुत पैसा इसलिए बोलते हैं पैसा जिनके पास नहीं है वो अगर स्टेटमेंट बोलेंगे बात अलग है. right? जिसके पास पैसे म्हणजे काय नाही सर्व नाही हे कोणी म्हणावं त्याच्याकडे पैसा आहे त्याने हे म्हणावं की पैसा बरोबर ज्याच्याकडे खूप आहे त्याने जर ते म्हणतो आपण ओळखून गेलो ते आपल्याला त्याच्याकडून पोहोचायचं so how humanity how literature how science how commerce all the faculties across on this field which again amalgamates into one umbrella and education because all science commerce and arts become into education. Education has to remain has to retain its sanctity, its transparency, its biasness to what human beings and what teacher student relation is. This student teacher relationship has to be maintained through ethical, moral, transparent, honest, dedicated, determined, spirit. Only then you or I will be able to teach. Otherwise, we can't be able to teach. Okay? So all these things that I was discussing just now, are they like what we think? Are they practical? Are they profitable? Are they necessary? Yes, all these three things are essential. So whether it is arts, commerce, science, or education as a whole, all of us are already part of this technological driven world, and we will have to stay with it. Rather update ourselves, upgrade ourselves, upgrade our software every now and then. See to it that we reach the height of our students, the mental level of our students, and try to address their concerns and issues, keep this soul of education alive through our lecture, through our prepared lectures, and moreover, like the argument that I'm trying to put about humanities is indispensable, I don't know. First, for when technology accelerates faster than ethics, that is what is exactly happening, isn't it? So technology is actually accelerating more than the ethical norms, and data is expanding faster than this. Like you say, पुढच्या पुढे जर हवा असेल तर तिथे चिन्ह असतो किंवा पैसा असतो. So it is the same thing. So data is expanding faster than our own wisdom because before you think it is already there on the screen, audio, visual, pictures, quality, everything here. So it is up to us to choose between what is good, what is bad, to choose between what is right and wrong, to choose between what is ethical and unethical. And most ever, when we are trying to reach the students, we also have to see that we have to reach them with whatever is the latest thing. We cannot, before I end, I just like to tell you, I was once teaching in the classroom using chalk. So that's what we usually do. We don't have smart board yet. So, like the students write on the wall, there was a write-up on the wall, एक शेर था जो दीवार पे लिखा हुआ था. दुनिया चांद पे पहुंच गई, दुनिया चांद पे पहुंच गई, तुम यहाँ चॉकलेट I was like, some sort of students we have. दुनिया चांद पे पहुंच गई, तुम यहाँ चॉकलेट I was like, oh my god, I do not use chocolate. Unfortunately, we don't have smart board though. See where the students are thinking and what they are thinking and what we are doing. So to match up this, come to that parity of what students expect. The expectations of the students, you will have to learn technology, be much more faster, not only with the lightning speed of technology, but also humanitarian and philosophic touch when we are at it. So let me first thank Iris for inviting me here, for having me over, and I wish him grand success post retirement. I know he's going to work after retirement as well. Because these days in the 21st century, nobody retires. There is no retirement. There is just a new meaning. Sir will start off very soon. I'm sure. I wish you a happy, healthy, and more fruitful life after your graduation, sir. Thanks to each and everyone. Thanks to the management and the organizing team and for taking up such a material task of organizing offline seminar conference like this. Because anything to organize in offline mode is a challenge because we know what the difficulties are. So the Himalayan task was carried out by each and every one of this college. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your enlightening and inspirational talk. Your valuable insight, clarity of thoughts, and depth of knowledge have truly changed all of us. We are deeply grateful for your time and your guidance. Thank you. Now I respectfully invite our honorable chairperson, Professor Dr. Vidya Patil, sir. Please. the very outset, it takes the bank stores, the organizers, the conference to give the opportunity and honor to chair the session. Actually, I do not hold any authority to chair the session like onward in our field, like Professor Nikam sir and Professor Nikam. But still, situation demands certain views and one has to perform whenever the responsibility is given on you. And such is the responsibility of intelligence organization that I am doing for here. Of the state, there are so upwards from this university, former dean of science faculty, principal Dr. R.S. Patil sir, principal Dr. R.I. sir, and vice principal Dr. Patil sir, and head of English department of this college, Dr. Nanik Sawan sir, and Dr. Mandal. Ma'am has given a wonderful talk on how interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approaches in academia check down the lives of that teachers. He also uh, very clear that humanity is something that is irreplaceable. Where the science technology, there is the can say role of humanity that can say given to us, and we say that would not be wrong. She also made it clear that as an how in this data flood and the age of this information, that how the natural intelligence is going to work. Artificial intelligence is something that may sometimes defeat you. She also touched upon various issues which are the burning issues of this academia, and made a wonderful you can say presentation in order to make us all aware about what are the responsibilities of as teachers, students, and part of this academia in a various roles. She gave the example of one of the famous novels by George Orwell, and the title of the novel is 1984, and the description of the station that is be born in 19. That is somewhere that that was just a coincidence. But it is always pleasure to hear to Professor Nikam Madam and Professor Nikam sir. This is all from me as a chairperson of this session. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your thoughtful and encouraging words. Is there any question from participants related to this session? Now, for me, conclude this session, I invite to Professor Dr. Dinesh Khairkar to propose about
Respected Chairperson, distinguished speaker, time dear participants. It's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks for this collaboration from this national conference. At the outset, I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude towards Indian speaker, Professor Sakri for delivering such insightful and enlightening address. Her take on knowledge, clarity of thought, quality perspective has significantly enriched this session. I also extend my appreciation to the chairperson of this session, Dr. Chikendra for the effective operation and thoughtful remarks that added further value to this deliberation. My sincere thanks go to all the delegates, faculty, research scholars, and participants for their presence and interaction which made this session meaningful. Thank you all. Now, I will come up with the session goal. 5 minutes. Can distinguish delegates, participants, and non staff. Reduce immense freedom to all of multinational conference. Interdisciplinary perspective on science, health, commerce, and education in the 21st century. Organized for honoring the legacy of physical on superannuation. But international medal commerce for Sakri in association with other countries program. Now I request our principal of Sakri. Now I request our medical principles from Govind and the Open of Love. To opportunity get Professor Martin become makes no I the Professor Kushima for feedback of 1 day national. I am going to Professor Kushima. Oh, okay. I would like to thank our for hosting such a very structure and impactful national conference. The sessions were insightful. The discussions were meaningful. The diversity of perspective truly increased the discussion. I would also extend my acknowledgement toward Dr. B.S. Dhule, Principal Mahatma Gandhi Government Venture Arts, Commerce, Science, College, That's it. Now I invite our DYSC student, Sakri, who is doing MSc in this science of this.
I am Sakri, a proud graduate from college, Devaki College, and currently a PhD student of physics of science. Coming back, college today, it is like my soul. I feel honored to be here. I would like to express my appreciation to the respected teachers for both my education and physical science for their constant support and guidance. Thanks. Principal Sir Dr. R. Sir for taking us. This conference has a valuable memorable experience for all of us. Spend my good for sincerely support the Thank you for giving us the opportunity to generate our research works and you do more for me. Thank you.
Very correct. I request former principal Dr. Arif Patil sir to give me moving to as a token of the side details here. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Professor Ajabra Yule to give feedback for the next.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving an opportunity to be there. Truly saying that at the outset, before ending this conference, that the legacy of our delivered principle, Dr. R. Reddy, sir, will go on, sir, whether you will be here or whether you will not here. But the legacy of your dedication will go on, sir. First of all, I would like to say this one. Talking about this conference, this is really wonderful because interdisciplinary perspective and coming together, managing all these kinds of these faculty in one go or in one package is really difficult task. But in the morning, I have been listening different types of the keynote speakers. Especially, I would like to give thanks to Dr. Vikas sir. Sir, it was really difficult task for you are the man of literature and English faculty, but in such a beautiful way, you have combined all kinds of these, branches, one group. So that was very commendable, sir. I appreciate it, and already you are very grateful for the personality. Right now, when I was listening, madam's lecture, Dr. Madhu madam's lecture, I was in confusion that whether really teacher will get replaced by this AI or not. But madam, thank you so much. You saved all of us, my existence because our OI is the original challenge. But madam has talked about that talent will ever be for that. Whatever situation, though we are living in the AI generation and whatever, but it will be very difficult to get replaced by ourselves. So thank you so much, ma'am, for making us realize that teacher are the teacher and the teacher are the best. When I listened in a morning session, I listened the former dean of the science faculty. Sir, though you was the man of science faculty, but you have started a poetry of Prof. Utalovi Darganti, really very highly impressed by your knowledge and love for teachers are really that also commendable. Dear friends, there are not only one keynote speaker who has played their pivotal role, but all of you, because why this is interdisciplinary, because when I was there in the participation, I come to know that the answer is there. Or in a because department, officer was there, they were cooperating, and here was the foreigner as the master. They were taking some session. Here also session was doing, and this is called collaboration. This is called the interdisciplinary approach. And I boldly would like to say here that this conference has been very successful. Have a clap for yourself. Only last minute I am saying right now, when I was going to from the morning walk, it was around 6:30, earlier 6:30 a.m. When I was going on this road, I noticed the principal, Dr. R. Teresa, sitting in this campus in a such an early morning, sir. Then I come to realize that what kinds of the dedication I know really, sir, you are deserving as a principal because I saw you early in the morning and you were checking out the environment and the campus and the duties and everything else. You are whatever you have settled. And that time I just said, thank you, sir. Because it's your role there. Sir, I really appreciate this one. And जाते जाते मैं इतना ही कहता हूँ हमारे अंपारी सर भी है सर आज की कॉन्फ्रेंस यहाँ का मौसम था और विचारों की उड़ान थी यही कहते I congratulate and appreciated efforts taken from the sir along with all these teams, all these colleagues, everybody you have a very vital role. And really, sir, is the dire need of the time to have such kinds of the conferences. I wish you all the best for the future. And sir, once again, thank you so much for being an opportunity. Thank you so much. I first congratulations for Anamati, the organization, the NGO, and being very supportive for welfare, being for the people. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your nice feedback. Now I invite Professor Vidya to give feedback. Who is doing PhD from Mumbai University.
It's great. It's great. It's organized. But first of all, very great congratulations to the organization for the conference which you have recently. And please help us think that is that interdisciplinary perspective is not just a thing to talk. I can say that I am the product of this for being taking education in English. It's very difficult. What we can say that you can change your speed of interest. But after taking education, having some interest into technology and all that stuff, right now I'm working in an organization which purely talks about manufacturing. Purely talks about manufacturing. Only on the basis of the language which I possess, on that basis, having some knowledge in technology, come to this path that I'm working in an organization which talks about manufacturing, about producing electronic components or whatever you say, like robots which are used in the field of medical and everything which manufacturing covers with right about that. So it's not just a thing because it is actually a thing that can be come to the life after 5 or 6 years, I think so. So talking to many industrial leaders, they say that in near future, degree will be the stuff of having something in your hand. The only thing which will define you will be your skills and what you are actually possessing. And it's really interesting to have this kind of conferences. And one interesting thing I would like to say is that Nikam sir is also happens to be my PhD guide, and I'm taking my PhD also in the PhD space. So you might be knowing that I'm very much aware of this interdisciplinary thing. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Feedback. So,
Thank you, Professor, for sharing your views. Now I would like to invite our chief guest, Professor Marvin, to present a brief report on the one-day national conference.
Good evening once again. I will ask you a report of the day, but whatever I remember was I told you on this now, and memory matters a lot. So, wanted to take the list of the days and of the days, esteemed members of the faculty and the students. As Kaushal and Sakri pointed out, we are all have become a part of the interdisciplinary, and like this one itself was a platform for most of us to understand that in the near future, we all are going to run the race, which will be not only essential or necessary, but it will become mandatory for all of us. So, in the very first session, in the Dr. Vidya has given us a brief overview of how all these three or four other sectors that fall in the category of education, like the arts, commerce, and science, humanities, science, social sciences, all together will be a sort of the expertise as just now also pointed out, expertise or degree will not matter as much as the skills would matter. How to attract students, how to get them to class, or how really to make education more interesting is a challenge for all of us. And Dr. Nikam pointedly pointed out that all the fields that we are talking about needs a lot of deliberation and not only deliberation, discussion about what is the existence that is important to NEP. The national education policy that we all are running at this moment is really making us to understand that what the students need, what we need as teachers, and the institute the need. Because the policy that is existing at this moment is multifaceted. Multifaceted in the sense arts student taking commerce subject and commerce student taking arts and science subject. This amalgamation itself is inseparable, and inseparability that is into existence, we all will have to be a part of it willingly or unwillingly, as I said earlier. So Dr. Nikam has pointed out how bringing students back to the classroom, discussing the new curriculum. So the curriculum that he has framed, he was a board of studies. There were almost 38 courses he has studied. Now there, we gave an example of how legal drafting he has set as one course. How language also has its own weightage. Because I, as a teacher of English, may not be able to legally draft what is really required in the framework or the structure of legal requirement. And that's why there has to be specialization. So this specializations that are required, specialization will come from experience. This specialization will come from doing more and more, like doing smaller things more and more. Who is an expert? An expert or a scholar? The person who knows more and more of less and less is an expert. Person who knows more and more about less and less is an expert, and that is why you and I, all of the class, we have to become an expert because the curriculum that we will design henceforth will not just be, for example, a teacher of literature. It's not just going to be diaspora, it's going to be new diaspora. So this new diaspora which we add with also will make a difference in n number of. And that is why when we talk of that conferences and such keynote address that he has given, has set the ball rolling of the conference. After that, we also had Shivata who gave us a brief introduction about sustainability. Now, sustainability is one grave issue which we all of us are facing and trying to understand. And sustaining in the context of not just literature and education, sustaining in the real scenario where health and hygiene also matters. Now, how does health and hygiene matters? Like when I came here in the hall, like when we came here yesterday, the first thing I did, like as we were discussing, we did was checking the air quality index. Because we had come from Mumbai, so we were checking the air quality index. There is 173, 174 here in this place, Sakri. In Mumbai, it was 250. If you go to Delhi, it would be 400 to 500. How everything matters, even the place matters, the location matters. If you have to sustain, don't just have to be taken, don't need just good qualification and qualities of life, but you also need peace of mind, which the NGO has taken us to, because the other rural support India, the project that they have undertaken, not only is guiding the tribals and the marginalized, but they are also taking the initiative of how the ecology has to be maintained. If you have to maintain the ecology and the balance between nature and human being, what is more essential for all of us to know that we have to take care of what we have. And there is one thing before I move on to the next. The most important thing, what I realized, and being off late to my daughter, she's in London, and I was visiting her for a convocation. I realized the country, like Britain, doesn't have much resources. They don't have many resources, that's why they care more about it. Unfortunately, India is one of the best countries which has got plenty of natural resources, all sorts of resources in abundance. And since we have it in abundance, don't care even an inch. Because we have more, we care less. They don't have, that's why they care. See that public transport. When we talk about sustainability, we have to think of all these things. See the public transport, there is no scratch, nobody has, written anything, no scribbling, no spitting, no dirt. Highly clean, right? Why is it happening? Because they feel that's their property. And where we, like Madam also spoke about running taps, like just for washing face, the tap keeps on running the water. We are running this. This advertisement we have seen so many times. It's a very common thing which really doesn't shatter our brains and awaken us to our senses to that information what is going on. Now, this is what this NGO is doing. They are doing a wonderful job because it's not just taking care of the women from the tribal regions, they are also looking after the soil erosion, water conservation, and moreover, they have said they are providing jobs to the youth, the youth. Now, what skill-based students want these days is job. Everybody whom you see around is trying to earn money because that is one primary necessity. If you have to earn, you need to have some degree, some skills. Many times it's so happens that the students are not highly educated. They are extremely skilled in it. They are professional in it, and you hire them. Right? But then sir also made one statement which when it comes to gender studies and feminism, it awakens my ears. So when he said that women are used as rubber stamps, women becomes a sponge in the गावामध्ये सरपंच महिला ज्या होतात त्या गावात काय होतं स्टॅम्प करून आता कंटिन्यू नवरा नाही होतो नवरा ते सगळे तेच विक्री करते असं बऱ्याच काम disagree with him. But then what we are doing to bring that awareness is also a responsibility because I know I to understand I don't have to talk about feminism because if I start with it then we will not go with it. So I will not talk about it. Because you have to maintain the equilibrium. You have to maintain the balance. Both the wheels, if they don't run on the same parallel rope, then things may collapse. So it's like when sir was making that statement, it struck me that if I go back to mythology, if I go to Bhake, Meti, okay, they were highly educated. They knew mathematics more. But what happened to them? So more educated we became and less did we bring in more equity, the share. Equitability, equity. So this NGO is taking in consideration not only ecology but also the philanthropy and the fine balance that is essential for this ecological system to run. This ecology cannot run only on men or this ecology cannot run only on females. That has to be a fine balance. Both are equally important. If somebody says, oh, he's a man, he can boast of himself. Okay, he's courageous, he doesn't cry, he's more stubborn. Okay, and he has more qualities. Yeah, I agree. But when we bring up our child, a girl child especially, we also treat the girl child right from the beginning, like by offering her toys, which are very feminine. From there, the thinking process starts. How this grooming happens. I will always offer a girl a doll and not a gun. Isn't it? Why can't I offer a gun to a girl? But then this balance that we're trying to bring in, this balance is something which is essential for the ecology to run. Like to stop the erosion of soil, Madam said, you have to plant and sow more trees so that the soil, the fertile soil is not washed off. Now you have to stop certain things at the right time. If we are not going to do that at the right time, then we all are going to suffer. Whether it is nature or whether it is education. So we should know better with that. So let me congratulate the NGO for taking up this initiative of not only bringing in more such avenues for the youngsters to find a job, but also maintaining the ecology, the nature, and the existing resource that God has given us. Or whether superpowers, like the natural element, because there are people who may say, oh, we don't believe in God. So I'm just making it more clear. The power that we have as nature, it's our responsibility to save it. So ecology and whatever we have, the natural resources that we have, each and everything has to be saved for the next generation, for the sake that even they should understand that something our parents have left for us. If we dig up everything and eat and nothing remains for them, then we are not a good human being. So after that, I think I was the one who spoke. So I did not put on what I am smoking. Was already actually it is well understood. I take it away. I take it that way, that it's well understood, because I didn't want to scare you all to that extent where you will be shaken. But let me also very sincerely, very honestly, very fairly and very firmly put a point over here on a serious note. Because I've been asked to be valedictory and talk about the entire report of this conference. The severity of the issue that was taken as the topic of discussion is really essential for all of us to understand and imbibe in us the understanding that in the coming years we will have to accept the fact that we cannot survive without technology. We will not be separate, we cannot say I'm a separate identity without technology, because our identity also will become a part and parcel of the same technology we are living today. So the conference that was organized, the topic of the conference was alarming for me, because this inter and multifaceted things that are coming into life will also be a cause of stability. Moreover, when it comes to literature, when we discuss diaspora, okay, how you are uprooted from your own soil, and when you go and try to settle yourself somewhere else, you don't find your own missing. So that happened to us, all our students, and it is a moral responsibility to see that such conferences, such deliberations, such discussions that are happening across the country, the globe, in the name of NEP also. I don't want to go into many issues which are more political or not socially acceptable, but let me tell you one thing. It is our responsibility to see to it that we give our students the best that is possible from our side. Then it is up to them to take what they have. We have to, but when we do it, we have to also remember, let us not just preach, let us practice it. I am using ChatGPT and I am telling my students what to do. It's unfair. Are you ready? So don't just preach, also practice what you tell your students. That will improve the situation and bring a more consensus in the classroom, in the form of students coming to the classroom every day. There will be a number of things that we have to handle and to understand. NEP has put us more into the clerical stuff. And this clerical stuff that we all are, the mad race of papers, boards of a conference feedback from documentation. Why is it happening? It's because it's a part of necessity and technical aspect that you understand. But then at the end of it, you also have to understand the seminars and conferences are for discussion and deliberation. I don't know why nobody asked me a question. Either you all were scared or didn't want to ask me. I don't know, but nobody asked me a question. But then such conference which was organized in this college, let me congratulate once again the entire team and all those who were part of this conference, right from registration, inviting the guests, preparing letters, vote of thanks, invitation, remuneration. And the most difficult task is to arrange all the breakfast and the lunch. The lunch was sumptuous, delicious, and I should thank the organizers for giving such a good stuff to eat. Also, the photographers, the audio system that was installed in each one, and most of them who must be with blazers. Congratulations to them for. I know. I hope you understand my. So, congratulations.